Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? This is Enrique, the Spanish United Director and Founder. This afternoon, I am with Burga Arkin. Burga, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Burga Arkin. Currently I'm the owner of the Dolans Uyghur Cuisine in Alhambra, California. Yeah, I'm ethnically Uyghur, and I'm the asylee in United States, and I also advocating the Uyghurs issue. Moreover, to my father as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for being on the show, Burga. Yeah, tonight's show is going to be about Uyghur Hispanic relations and how both communities can engage with each other and at the same time promote mutual understanding. As you know, Hispanics are one of the largest communities in the United States, but also one of the most persecuted because of the issue of immigration, job security, demographics, etc. I'm very familiar with the Uyghur people. I've been following up what's been going on with them in Xinjiang province in China, and also with the diaspora. And I came across a few Uyghur people myself, and it's pretty interesting that even though they are in China, culturally and ethnically, they are related to the Turkish people from Turkey, which I thought was pretty interesting because when people think of China, they think of Asian people. So yes, I wanted to reach out to you and to the Uyghur people because I wanted to express solidarity with the Uyghur situation and their plight, and at the same time for the Uyghurs to sympathize, with our plight, what's going on with Hispanics right now in the United States with Hispanophobia and that type of thing. So what's your take?
Yes, I mean, like some of the issues in related to Hispanics, immigrants, United States is pretty similar, especially like some like discrimination or like some marginalization from the workforce or like other like social sources. And but the difference is it's like we all are in like very two different countries. One is like democratic, one is like totalitarian dictatorship country. So like I'm really glad like Hispanic people uh, they can share their voice in US and like openly or publicly talk about and discuss their issue. But the more but the very like sad thing is for Uyghurs in China, there is no way we talk about our issue, and if we talk about anything related to Uyghurs, and then we may be disappeared or taken away to the concentration camp or the labor camp.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the same feeling for the Hispanic people, like from the like discrimination aspect from the white people or some racist people in America.
Yes, I was actually watching the news the other day that the governor of Texas enacted a executive order to seize cars, property, to stop people and to arrest people that look Hispanic in the state of Texas, because according to him, Hispanic people are exposing the people of Texas to the coronavirus. So to me, I was very alarmed by that because you probably know Texas is a very conservative state, and there's a lot of Hispanophobia in that state. Even though half of the population is of Hispanic descent, the difference is that they're not represented in the state as much as they are here in California. So I was very alarmed because I kind of saw the parallel similarities between what's happening with the Uyghurs in Xinjiang, that many people have disappeared. They don't know why. Many of them have been like you said, put into concentration camps, re-education centers, and I believe that it's a form of ethnic cleansing, and I feel that it's a form of ethnic cleansing happening here because in many parts of uh, of America, Hispanics are becoming the majority. So a lot of people,
Yeah.
you know, have a fear that Hispanics are going to take over the country, and I think a lot of politicians and certain individuals are using xenophobia, Hispanophobia, and fear to create this the state of of fear of the unknown. Because a lot of the fear that people have towards Hispanic people is not based on fact, but it's more based on stigma, stereotypes, ignorance, and what they hear from others. You know, there's many people in the country, believe it or not, Burga, that have never even met a Hispanic person. They only know what they see on the news or what they hear on the radio. So it's pretty sad, you know, that this is
Yeah.
happening in our country today.
Yeah, I mean, like, according to you, I mean, this is very disturbing, and it's like, it's very like awful to me, because like a country like US, in the state of Texas, if they declare that kind of thing, it's like, it's very terrible, because I'm also new to the US. I came here in 2015, and but I just stayed in Los Angeles. I didn't travel a lot to other states, but the Los Angeles are pretty, like, majority are Hispanic people, and I met a lot of Hispanic people, more than other white people and any other ethnic people. So I had the chance to to meeting with the mayor of the LA in 2017, I believe, when I was in USC. Uh, his name is Eric, right?
Eric
Eric.
Garcetti.
Yeah, he's a Hispanic also, right?
Yes, he's mixed. His mother is no, his father is Hispanic with Italian,
Uh-huh.
and his mother is Jewish. But he is Hispanic. Yes, he is.
Okay. Yeah, so, like, because in, like, LA County, in their governance system, there's so many Hispanic people. So I didn't realize, like, there is, like, that kind of, like, a lot of hate, or like discrimination towards the Hispanic people in LA. But in Texas, I mean, like according to you, it's really horrible.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
horrible. And unfortunately, in many states where you don't have a big Hispanic population, the racism is even worse. You know, to the point that's even dangerous to even be outside.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you know, I really feel that it's very important for people to dialogue, to exchange, and to meet, and also to exchange culture and different ideas, because that will also help reduce tension between each other. At the same time, people can learn more about each other and understand one another and say, you know, we're not much different from each other.
Yes.
And that's what
Mhm.
my organization, Spanish United, does. We are a Hispanic organization that we present all Hispanic people. You know, you don't, you know, we have people that are Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Central American, South American. So it's all Hispanic people together, working together to promote Hispanic unity, but at the same time to have unity and peace with other groups that are also persecuted as well. And I think it's very important that different peoples and organizations talk and meet with each other, so that way they can have a better understanding of one another.
Of course, yes, especially, like, for racism, or like ethnic hate, and like discrimination. I mean, this is very bad. I mean, because of I think this, like, this discrimination or racism, it leads us to the nationalism. But
Mhm.
nationalism, because there's some country, they were really nationalist, like Nazi Germany or
Fascist
Soviet
Italy.
Union in the past. yeah, Nazi Italy, in and even Japan in World War II,
Yes.
but they didn't win. Everyone lost, and
Hmm.
they lost very badly. And China is doing now right now, but we and I saw and I heard that kind of like atmosphere in US in some point. But of course, it's I don't think it's like as terrible as China.
Hmm.
But uh, I mean, we all have to unite it to against the racism, discrimination everywhere in the world.
Hmm. I agree because unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, because of the economy, because of different social issues, many right-wing groups are using that as propaganda to recruit people into a form of nationalism against everybody else, against the other. So I think it's very important to combat that, like I said, through education, through dialogue, and also for people to meet with each other, because that's the only way people can have peace, and at the same time, people can have a mutual understanding of each other. Look, racism is never going to
Yes,
go away. Everybody knows that. But
yes,
if
yeah.
we
Hmm.
can do what we can to do our part and reaching out to people, talking to people, meeting with people, I think that's going to offset a lot of the beliefs. Like, I think what you did, I think was like a year or two ago when you opened up your restaurant
Hmm.
and you like, gave food to the people. I think that was a very excellent idea because one way to unite people, even though they don't speak the same language, is through food and through music. And I think
Yes,
that was a very wonderful idea that you did.
yes. Thank you. I mean, like for like especially for Uyghurs, like it's like very few people have knowledge of the Uyghurs and what's going on in East Turkestan, so-called Xinjiang Autonomous Region.
Mm,
But we call our home country as East Turkestan because it's occupied and invaded like 70 years ago by the Chinese Communist Party.
right.
So we don't call it Xinjiang. Sorry, but
It's okay.
yeah. So when I finished my school, I couldn't able to like go back to my home country to pursue my dream. But then I stayed in LA, and after a year I opened up the restaurant. Like open up the restaurant also it benefits me economically for sure, but most importantly, through the restaurant, through the food, I educate the people about vigors. Like for example, we have our like video, uh, like the TV shows, introducing and playing the vigor music and the cultures and our food, and even our like staffs all are wearing like very cool shirts like Google Vigors that people always have like curiosity to ask about what who are Uyghurs and what's going on. And I mean like it's been like almost 3 years. I think I personally talk a lot to the many people about Uyghurs, and I think we succeed in some point, and we also successfully like host some like uh, events in our restaurant with the International Amnesty
Mm,
for Uyghur crisis. Also, we have also cooperated with student organization in USC and UCLA. Also hosted some like events to advocate the Uyghur crisis in Los Angeles.
mm. Yeah, that's something I would like to
Yeah.
do in the future. I would like to host something between the Uyghurs and the Hispanic people, and to educate about the plight of the Hispanic people within the United States. My family's from Puerto Rico. I'm not sure if you know anything about Puerto Rico, but Puerto
Yeah, yeah,
Rico is
yeah, of
it's a
course.
colony. Puerto Rico's a colony
Uh-huh.
of the United States. So in many ways, Puerto Ricans have a similar situation with the Uyghurs into
Oh,
some degree.
okay.
Like you have a lot of wealthy Americans that go to Puerto Rico, they buy up all the land, they buy up all of the resources, A lot of wealthy
Uh-huh.
Americans are given incentives to move to Puerto Rico. And what's causing is that it's causing the prices of everything to go up. And a lot of Puerto Ricans are
Oh,
forced to come to America. So I feel that they're kind of doing like an ethnic cleansing in a way, but without killing people. What they're doing is that they're pushing people out through economics by
oh,
making everything very expensive.
oh my God. I
Yes,
didn't know that. I mean, I also have like very little knowledge about that kind of like things happening in US.
yes. A lot of people don't even know about Puerto Ricans. A lot of people think that Puerto Rico's like a foreign country, but Puerto Rico's been part of the United States since 1898
Yeah.
when the United States took Puerto Rico from Spain during the Spanish American War.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's something that's
Oh.
very important. And also, I wanted to ask you, are you familiar with
Mhm.
Hispanophobia? Have you seen any type of Hispanophobia like in San Gabriel Valley or from your personal experience?
Personally, I didn't experience anything towards to the Hispanic people because San Gabriel Valley mostly are like
Chinese.
Asian, Chinese American or Asian American. But I used to have like Hispanic employees, but like we all were really good relationships. Even with some, like two of them, I still keep in touch with them. But I didn't really like experience the discrimination or any racism towards Hispanic people here. But
Mm,
every time I go to like Home Depot, like I saw like many Hispanic people like looking for a job. I think mostly are like new immigrants and with no work permit, and yeah, they are like very in very bad situation, but looking for a job in the Home Depot area. Yeah, yeah, I know that.
and how do you feel Hispanophobia could be addressed? Like how do you think the methods or things that can be implemented to try to address the issue of Hispanophobia? Like what are things you think that could be done?
I think only good thing is everything is very open in US. That's a very good thing, and at least there is their legal system is, I think, it's somehow protecting the minorities, and we have open internet here, social medias, or like organizing in local events. I think this will be very helpful because for Uyghurs, we have no opportunity, zero chance to do anything, uh, or any event or any like PR work in China. It's
Hmm.
impossible. So anything we do, it leads us to the jail. But
Hmm.
in America, when we came to America, we were like even lobbying to the Congress in Washington D.C., Senate. Even I personally went to the California State Department. I met some and congressmen and senators in the state level in Sacramento in last year February.
Hmm.
I mean, uh, at least they listened and last year, and they also come up with some resolution about Uyghurs. I think for the Hispanic people, we perfectly can use those methods because there is the opportunity and there is a space to do that in LA at least. Yeah, I think we have like a lot of like possibility and big chances here.
Hmm. I think something that a lot of Hispanic people don't do is that they're not
Mhm.
involved. Let it be in their
Mhm.
communities or let it be in the political process, because a lot of people are either overworked or they're scared because of their status or whatever. But they don't
Mhm.
realize that anything that happens to the Hispanic community affects everybody, regardless if we're active or not. So I think one of the things that I encourage through my organization. You know, because
Mm-hmm.
my organization is not political. We don't endorse any political party. You know, we're completely secular. But one thing that I do encourage the
Okay.
people of Spanish United and also the Hispanic community is that they should be more active, more proactive. They should vote. They should organize. They should do emails, do petitions, speak with local representatives, because people tend to
Of course.
people tend to complain a lot because that's human nature. But if people do not speak about what's happening
Mm-hmm.
to them, you know, it's like the people that can do something. How are they going to know if people are not speaking? It's like you have these feelings inside. I feel this way, but if you don't tell someone, people are not going to know. So it's very important for people to speak and voice what's happening and see who can listen to you.
Of course. I mean, you said a really, really good point because like once we just only claiming on like on social media or like between us, it's nothing. It has to be some resolution about the issue. So we have to like speak to the any politician possible in our area, in our district, in the state level, or the like in Washington D.C. And I mean there is like many Hispanic people works in Congress and Senate in California. I personally met them,
Mhm.
and also in the DC too. I mean, this will help because when we speak, they will listen our voice. At least we create like atmosphere online or social media to like to the people like, hey, the Hispanic people, it's something happened to them and we have to listen, we have to see what happened, we have to do some research what's going on to them, and then people then realize like we should do this or we should help them or like, and then there's a debate that created. I think, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, people have to be like actively to promote, actively to participate those like political events.
Mhm. And that's one thing that I encourage from my people and my organization is that, you know, to be proactive, be involved, and to, you know, just speak, because you could do a lot by speaking. You know,
Yeah,
even if people do not get involved in the political process or through lobbying, but just by people hearing you speak can hold a lot of weight.
yeah.
You know, that's something that's very, very, very important. And one final thought.
Hmm.
As far as improving relations with Uyghurs and Hispanic people, like what methods or things you believe that can be implemented to, you know, to get Hispanic people and Uyghur people to know each other and to engage with each other more.
Yeah, the Uyghur Americans, the immigrants is pretty new to US. I think the Uyghurs, their population in US increased. I think it's just a recent 10 years or 20 years. But since 2009, there is a massacre happened in Urumqi.
Hmm.
Uh, and also after 2017, the Uyghurs are like very actively collaborating with people from Hong Kong or Taiwan or Tibetan people.
Hmm.
But I believe there's like very few collaboration specifically with a Hispanic organization, but we do collaborate with other like social organization in US. But I so far I didn't hear anything with like specific with Hispanic organization, but definitely we can like collaborate together and we can join each other's like social events or like any like protests, for example. Like we can back up each other.
Yes, that's something that
Yeah.
I would definitely would like to do. I would like to work with the Uyghur people and express my solidarity. The same thing I would like to see the Uyghur people be in solidarity with Hispanic people, because we're both
Yes,
fighting
of
the same.
course.
Yes, we are
Yes,
both fighting the same struggles, but in different ways.
yes, yes. Definitely, definitely.
So perfect. Thank you very much for being on the show, Burga. I really appreciate it. As soon as I finish with the podcast, I will send you the link. Do you happen to have a Facebook account or something where I could send
Yes,
it
I
to you?
do.
Do
Yes,
I
I do.
do I find you by the name that you have here?
Yes, but it's just like a different spelling. I can send you the correct. I can send you my Facebook profile.
Okay,
I
perfect.
can. I'll text you.
Perfect. And I also would like to have you join my Facebook group, Spanish United. You could, be a member, and you could look about what we do. And I'll also send you the website of Spanish United so that we could be more
Sure.
informed on what we do. And I look forward in speaking with you, meeting with you later on in the future.
Great, no problem. If you have a chance, like just come to visit us in our restaurant, and I will be really appreciate to host you and show you and like talk about like all the social issues in the United States and these Uyghurs also.
Absolutely.
Like
Maybe,
that. Yeah.
I'm thinking about going to San Gabriel next week because I do business there. I could probably stop by and get something to eat there. I would like to bring my mother along as well. That's okay.
Sure. Great. No problem. Yeah. Let me know before you come.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Berger. I really appreciate it, and
Perfect.
have yourself a wonderful day.
Great. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You are.
Bye bye.